Hi everybody, welcome to your weekend edition of The Daily Dose. My name is Lauren and I'm part of the visitor engagement team here at the Calgary Zoo. Today we are going on a sensory scavenger hunt, looking for signs of spring. It's starting to become that amazing season where things are starting to grow, wild migratory animals are starting to come back on grounds, and there are some changes happening here at the Calgary Zoo. We're going to explore today using 4 of our 5 senses. We're going to see what we can touch or see animals touching. We're going to see what we can hear, smell, and see. I'm going to save the sense of taste for you to do at home with your snack. I won't be tasting anything today. I'm down here at the Camel Habitat because camels are going through some amazing seasonal changes right now where they are exploring their sense of touch because they are starting to shed. That's right, just like our pets at home do, animals go through those seasonal shedding of their winter coats, and camels are no exception. If you look at Gobi and Ava behind me, you'll see those big, thick, shaggy coats of fur that keep them warm through our cold Calgary winters. But who wants that when it's a beautiful 20-degree day outside? So they have to rub up against the rocks and the trees in the habitat. So animals like wolves, mountain goats, they are all working to work off of that thick winter coat with their sense of touch. So we can see them getting those scratches out. I don't see anybody doing that right now. It looks like they're eating. Now we're gonna head off and see what we can see, smell, and hear throughout the Calgary Zoo. So come on with me, let's go on a sensory scavenger hunt. So we just saw the camels using their sense of touch to rub off their thick winter coats. Now I'm looking for signs of spring using my sense of touch, and I found some amazing plants here in the Dorothy Harvey Gardens. If I reach in here, I can feel the dry, crunchy bits of last year's plants, but I also feel the soft and squishy new growth that's coming in underneath. New plants have a very different feel and texture to last year's plants, but many of these are perennials, which means they'll come back this year. So I'm using my sense of touch to explore the gardens. This is something you can do in your neighborhood. Use your hands and see if you can feel the plants coming back to life this spring. I'm continuing to explore the zoo using my senses to look for signs of spring, and there's a new scent on the air. That's right, I'm here at the Flamingo Habitat, and they are one of my favorite spring smells. You can smell our flamingo flock from a mile away because of the krill they eat and the poop they make. Now, as I go through the zoo, there are some animals that are starting to come outside. Some of them I'll be able to see, and some of them I'll be able to smell. I've followed my nose looking for spring scents all the way to the savannah yard, and what do I find? The hippos and giraffes are outside. It's a beautiful sunny day, and this is a for sure sign of spring. Savannah building is one of the most sensory buildings here at the Calgary Zoo. I can smell it. It smells like earth and mulch, animals and poop, and it's amazing. And now that smell is wafting through the zoo on this beautiful spring day. I can also start to use my sense of sight on my spring exploration, and I can see the giraffes. Giraffes have one of the best senses of sight around, and so they are those tall towers. They look out over the savannah, and they can see for miles to see if predators are coming. Let's see what else we can use our sense of sight to find as evidence that spring is here. I spy with my little eye a river that is melted. The Calgary Zoo Island has the river running on both sides of it, and is at the spot where the Bow and Elbow rivers come together. And I can see that most of the ice is gone, which means that some of the habitat, some of the wild animals that live here are starting to return. When I look out over this bridge, sometimes I can see beavers, I can see deer, I see geese, and this tells me that spring is back in Calgary. The Canadian Wild's Lower Pathway is one of my favorite places in the zoo to listen for sounds of spring. I can hear bicycle bells as people ride their bikes along the riverbanks. I can hear our whooping crane cyclops whooping and calling, and I can hear wild birds as they come back and form nests like chickadees and woodpeckers. Next time you go into Canadian Wilds, listen and hear all of the amazing bird sounds. we're gonna go see if we can hear one of my favorite springtime bird sounds at the Calgary Zoo. I've reached my last stop on my spring sensory scavenger hunt, and it's one of my favorite habitats here at the Calgary Zoo, penguin plunge. Now, I mentioned one of my favorite sounds. It's the sound of Humboldt penguins. Humboldt penguins are a warm weather species, so now that it's spring, the Humboldts have come outside and I can hear them. Humboldt calling sounds kind of like a braying of a donkey, so it's a super amazing and really neat sound that we only hear at the Calgary Zoo in the spring. This is also a perfect place to end my scavenger hunt because I can see the Humboldts outside and I can smell the Humboldt penguin guano or penguin poop. So all of my senses have come together and told me that it is finally spring here at the Calgary Zoo. Now this weekend, I challenge you to go on your own spring sensory walk in your neighborhood and see what signs of spring you can touch, hear, see, and smell, and then go have a snack just to make sure you use your sense of taste too. Thank you so much for watching this weekend edition of the Daily Dose at Home, and thank you for supporting wildlife conservation.